be the judge of when you think it's your end, and you start playing, and I'll try to remember the clue. That's the clue to get back in seat. So, you can tell. Yeah. You can tell. Depends on the people. Yeah, perfect timing.
I don't know about that. There are people who would disagree. You ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, about lending a hand, about lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I've learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, about lending a hand. It's about love. It's about love, it's about kindness, about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, about lending a hand, about lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
That was lovely, Sandra and Robin and Chris. Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And, good morning, all of you on live stream. My name is Lori, and we're glad that you guys are joining us today to Unity for Divine Love and Light. And today, we also have a special guest speaker, David McClure. Yes, and we also want to thank the music team, Sandra and Robin and Chris. Thank you guys, you're awesome. And the media team there with Byron and Wayne. Thank you guys. And so today, our guest speaker, David McClure,
One thing I want to interject here with David McClure. David, your wave of caring and love goes throughout the universe. It's a huge wave. And this morning at 10 o'clock, we were talking about you. We and another woman named Shanta, who's sitting right here. Welcome, Shanta. She is happens to be house sitting right here in the area, and looked up Unity churches, and she came here. And Shanta commented when she was here that she knew David McClure in Honolulu. And I said, well, I did too. And it turns out that she looked familiar when she came in at 10 o'clock this morning, and I didn't remember her name. And she did remember me. She saw me online too. But she said, yes, I knew David. I was there for 20 years at that church, living in Honolulu. And we had some great stories. I had a little bit of time this morning to just chat about and about all kinds of wonderful things in the Aloha State. So welcome and aloha.
I'm new still. And I did that.
So we're at the welcome, and we're at the Daily Word.
No.
At the Vision Mission.
Opening music, I think.
Yeah, opening music. We got another one for you.
Yes.
Everyone, this one's a sing-along, so if y'all can hop on your feet and
That's
sing
where
along
we're
with
at,
us,
I think.
that would be
Yes.
great.
All right, I know you've heard this one. We're going to give it a little bit of movement, so.
It's a little church exercise, little church jazzercise.
Church exercise.
Doing a little bit of Richard Simmons this morning at church. Up and down, up and down. Just be thankful you're not Catholic. You'd be doing that all day.
Well,
Up,
it's
down,
not
sit
that
down, kneel.
lively.
Up, down, sit down, kneel. I never could understand that.
1,
Anyways.
2, 3. Praise to the oneness, creating all life. Do we have the words? Praise to the oneness, sustaining our life. Praise to the Spirit. Praise to the Spirit, the dance of our life. Our life. Praise to the Spirit, connecting all life. And now praise to the oneness again. Praise to the oneness, creating all life. Praise to the oneness, sustaining our life. Praise to the Spirit. Praise to the Spirit, the dance of our life. Praise to the Spirit, connecting. Let's do it one more time. So now you should have it. Praise to the oneness. Praise to the oneness, creating all life. Praise to the oneness, sustaining our life. Praise to the Spirit. Praise to the Spirit, the dance of our life. Praise to the Spirit, connecting all life. Praise to the Spirit, connecting all life. Now you know it.
Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, our vision and our mission. Would you like to tell us about the vision and mission? Tell us what to do?
Okay.
Our vision, our mission.
Here's our mission statement,
Yeah, he said.
and it's right there. I'm sorry I have to switch my glasses and distant glasses. Our mission, touching hearts, transforming lives. And our vision, offering a positive path for spiritual living.
Now let's affirm those together.
Okay.
Our mission together. Touching
Hearts,
and
transforming lives.
Our vision.
Our vision, offering a positive path for spiritual living.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Okay, so now we have a spiritual nugget. Oh, and the transition, pardon me, back up. Transition prayer, affirmation. This is part of the process prayer we've been using since May. So let's affirm this together. Together, we embrace divine inspiration, guiding us to manifest the highest good for our community as we co-create our future. Thank you. And so another example of what unity teaches is that Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, says this is very powerful, it's very beautiful. He says, God's greatest gift to humankind is the power of thought, through which all can incorporate into their consciousness the mind of God. And so that would include the power of thought that we teach a lot in unity. The power of thought has incredible creative and co-creative power. That's an example of what we teach. And so now we have our peace statement. You see that slide is a beautiful reflection of humankind holding the blue marble in its hands. And you want to lead us in the peace statement?
Okay. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God, for there is one power and presence of God, and that God loves each and one of us equally. It is therefore the position of unity to urge all nations, their leaders, and their people to turn to God by whatever the name for guidance during these challenging times, and to pursue peace, not war. For this is what honors the God of all our faith traditions.
And now in the greet your neighbor part, what do you think?
Yes. We're going to say good morning. We're going to do it. We can either hug, or we can handshake, we can high five, or we can just fist bump. Whatever you want to do.
And so when we greet each other, at some point you will hear Sandra on the piano. And that is a clue for you.
To take our seats.
Clue for you to get back to you. I'm not used to This is one of these Sundays, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
When you hear Sandra on the piano in the midst of greeting your neighbor, that's a sign to please return to your seat. It's time to continue. So let's stand and greet our neighbors. Here we go.
Yes. Oh, God.
Okay. I'll just take my stuff and go over there.
Is there more? There is more. And now we read our daily word. We're at October 22nd, 2023. And the word is grace. I walk in grace and peace today. I walk in grace and peace today. Let's affirm that. Take that deep into our soul together. I walk in peace and grace today. Grace and peace today. I give thanks for the activity of God in my life that appears as grace. This divine gift manifests as the beauty of the world and the people in it, and as this comforting presence of God within and around me each day. I do not have to do anything to earn grace because it does not result from my attitude or actions. It flows from the infinite love of God within every person and surrounding every circumstance. It's the indwelling presence that sustains me in challenging times and lifts me in good times. I accept grace with gratitude when I have stumbled along life's path and received unexpected blessings. This boundless love fills my heart with bliss and peace. I live in the presence of infinite love, believing each unfolding event in my life is leading me to my highest good. And from 2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is sufficient to you. I walk in grace and peace today. One more time. I walk in grace and peace today. Now we move into a time of prayer meditation where we have an opportunity to share, if we wish, or whisper aloud a prayer request. It might be for ourselves, for a loved one. It might be a word. It might be a phrase. It might be merely a thought, not words at this point. And then we will remember that prayers are invitations and affirmations for us to shift our consciousness, awareness into the presence of indwelling spirit. And so at this time, if you have a community prayer for other people to join you in supporting, even though they may not hear what you whisper or what you say, being with each other right here and right now, and joining our brothers and sisters online right now, we recognize that all is well in our time of personal prayer. And with a deep breath of gratitude and love and affirmation, we let go. Perhaps we say silently, I let go, I let spirit, I let go, I let God. I let go, I let the power within me come forth and do its mighty work. And I affirm that with others that I've been supporting in prayer, seeing in them the perfect peace, the perfect healing power, the perfect love that transcends all. And as another deep breath, we prepare ourselves for a guided meditation. May the words that I share be of your own mind and heart, if you wish. Letting go and letting God. I take a moment to move into the calmness that is forever with me. Stillness. An experience of moving beyond the body. For I'm not a body. I am as God, as Spirit created me. Knowing that there is a place within me where I have an ability to bring forth. That is which is calling for expression. That has been in my heart and perhaps on my mind for a while, and that perhaps is a challenge that's troubling, and perhaps is something that's full of gratitude, or both, or all, and others. With a breath, I recognize that my doors are wide open. The doors to my heart, the doors to the Spirit of the Christ that is forever within is here and now. In the silence, I know. In the silence, I receive. In the silence, I give. And with a deep breath, we return our awareness to a place of spirit, a place of love, a place of oneness. And as we do another release of letting go, of affirming that we trust the Spirit that is here within us, within me right this moment, to continue its presence in my life and continue the path that I'm on to guide me on this journey of transformation, this journey of willingness to know and to be and to become. And through the living, loving nature of the indwelling Spirit, the indwelling Christ, we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, sweet Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Now that you guys are all nice and relaxed, got a call a couple days ago, and Sandra's like, David has a request for a song. And I said, well, what is it? She told me what it is. I said, well, never played it before, but I'll work it out. It's not what you guys... Huh? That's where I want it so I don't step on it. It's a guitar player thing. I know, I think you have a method. Yeah, there's a method. So, obviously, what David McClure wants, David McClure gets. So. He holds a little bit of cloud. So, I will do my best to, I just learned this a couple days ago, so, just in case I need the words, just because I usually I'm way more organized than this. That's not it. This is where the Jeopardy song comes on, waiting for me to get my stuff together. Oh, here we go. You know the landlord rang my front porch bell. I let it ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window, I played to the blinds. I asked him to tell me what was on his mind. He said, money, honey, yeah, money, honey, money, honey, if you want to get along with me. Well, I screamed and I hollered, I was so hard-pressed. I called the woman that I love best. I said to my baby about 3:30. She said she'd like to know what was wrong with me. I said, money, honey, yeah, money, honey, money, honey, if you want to get along with me. Well, I said to my baby, what's wrong with you? From this day on, our romance is through. I said, tell me, baby, face to face, how can another take my place? She said, money, honey, yeah, money, honey, money, honey, if you want to get along with me. Now I've learned my lesson, now I know. The sun may shine and the winds may blow. Women may come and the women may go. Before I say I love you, I wanna know about money, honey. Yeah, money, honey. Money, honey. If you wanna get along with me. Money, honey. Yeah, money, honey. Money, honey. If you wanna get along with me.
Robin, that was fantastic.
Thank you. Chris, over there. Whoops, forgot that first step. You got to watch it. Good morning, Spokane. God woke them up for me. Thank you very much. I was wondering about this crowd. It's pretty low-key today, but now we're in it. Actually, in 1950, I attended an Elvis Presley concert in Toronto with my brothers and sister and heard that song and fell in love with it and still love it. And I loved your rendition of it. Thank you so much for singing that. And you know, I remember that was only $20 to get in to see, to hear Elvis back in there. I think it was around 1950 or so. And interesting things have happened to money since 1950 and beyond. So I kind of want to talk about that with you today. It's good to be back with you again. There was a wealthy man on his deathbed, and he called his three best friends, his doctor, his lawyer, and his minister, and took them into his hospital room and by his bedside and made a final request to them. He said, I know that they tell us that you can't take it with us, but who knows what lies on the other side of life? And so, just to be sure, I'm going to give each of you an envelope with $100,000 in cash in it. And before they throw the dirt in on me at the grave, I want you to throw that envelope into the grave, and we'll see what happens. So the three men promised that they would do that. He gave them each an envelope with $100,000 in it. And the man passed away soon thereafter, and after the funeral service, there was an internment at the cemetery. And each of his friends attended the burial, and just before they were about to shovel in the dirt on top of the coffin, each man did as they had been promised. They promised to do, and that was to toss their envelope into the grave. Well, after the burial, the three men walked away from the grave, and the doctor said, well, my friends, I have a confession to make. And the confession is, since the hospital was short of funds for treating the poor, I put $80,000 in the envelope, and I kept $20,000 for the hospital. I just wanted you to know. I want to be upfront with you. Well, the minister said, I too have to make a confession. Our church needed a new roof, and so I donated $50,000 to the church, and I put $50,000 in the envelope and threw it in. The lawyer looked at both of them. He says, I am astonished and deeply disappointed that you failed to keep your solemn promise to our dear departed friend. I want you to know that the envelope I threw in contained my personal check for the full amount. So the question remains, can you take it with you? And before we can answer that question, we need to ask ourselves this question. What is the it that we're trying to take with us? As I've done many times before, I'm here this morning to challenge you to an experiment about it. An experiment that will once and for all prove to you that no matter what your circumstances, the truth about you doesn't change. No matter what else changes, the truth about you never changes. Something that you affirmed this morning, one presence, one power. I want you to know that the very first words that I heard in a Unity church when I was 7 years old, sitting in Toronto in Sunday school, the minister led us in the opening affirmation, and it was, there is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. Those are the first words I heard in a Unity church back in 03 or whenever it was. And anyway, I was 7 years old. And those words have stuck with me, and they are still affirmed in some form or another in most every Unity church. And I have shortened them to OPOPGGO. One presence, one power, God the good, omnipotent. I used to, when I lived in California, I had a license plate that said OPOPGGO on it. You know those vanity plates that you can get? Well, I had that. I got lots of people stopping me and said, what the heck does that mean, you know? One presence, one power, God the good, omnipotent. Why don't we all say that together? There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. Well, that is the only thing that's going on in the universe, is that one presence and one power. So the experiment that I'm going to challenge you and try to have you work with today to prove that it, meaning money, is nothing. Money is nothing. Just hold that in your head for a minute. Nothing but energy. Money is nothing but energy. And you may be saying to yourself, money is nothing? David, where have you been? All I know is that right now my life and everything in my life is tied up in money. And I'm still here this morning saying to you, money is nothing. Everyone in this room, including me, and those watching, hi there, those watching, have wondered at some time whether you could take it with you when you depart the planet. If nothing else, most of us have probably some baggage around money, some issues around money, that often keeps us from enjoying the money that we have, enjoying it, and ultimately realizing that that's not why you came to this planet, to make money, or to stash money, or to put it aside, or do anything else with it. Regardless of your relationship with money, every one of us here today has a financial situation. You have a financial situation. I have a financial situation. And no matter what the situation is, what it reflects is our current beliefs and expectations around the subject. And the truth is that once you change your beliefs and expectations, your entire financial situation changes too. So many people still believe that Big Green runs the show on planet Earth. That it is more important than, say, your brothers and sisters, is more important than climate change, or even your health and well-being. Amassing all those strips of green paper, metal coins, or plastic cards that are etched. You know, I'm going to move this up. Can you help me, Steve? It's a little far this way. Yeah. That's better. Thank you, sir. You send me a bill? Good. Oh, that's right. There's just bring it up here. This is good. This is awesome. Thank you. Move your feet, David. The other one. Anything else? No. Pull my pants down. No. Meanwhile, let me repeat this again. Once you change your beliefs and expectations, your whole financial situation changes. So many people still believe that money is more important than just about anything else on the planet. And amassing these strips of paper and metal coins and plastic cards that are etched with your names, we put these on a pedestal and we place this chunk of stuff and prostrate ourselves in front of it in worship. There was a man who was shipwrecked on a remote island, and there were a group of native islanders living there, and they were quite friendly, and they invited him to attend their religious worship service that day on the island. And he was taken to a clearing where he saw a huge rock. And the natives began to chant and dance around the rock. And the shipwrecked man, watching this, asked one of the natives, "What is the name of this rock that you worship?" And the native said, "We call this rock nothing." And the man thought about this for a moment, and he said, "So what you're telling me is that nothing is sacred?" I'll leave you with that. You can. Nothing is sacred except OPOPGGO. That's all. There are a lot of people who dance and bow down to money as though it were sacred and precious. And this morning I am suggesting to you that if you're going to chant and dance around anything, chant and dance around OPOPGGO. There's where the action is. Nothing on planet Earth is sacred. Nothing. Is nothing sacred? We'll answer that. And that includes money, of course. No matter how much money you have placed on your pedestal, I am here to inform you that not only is it not sacred, much of what you know about money is a big fat lie. It's a lie. It was Grace Bell, who was a Byron Katie teacher. How many of you have read Byron Katie stuff? Yeah, she's amazing. Grace says this: if money was a person in the way I felt about it, it would be practically like an unobtainable Hollywood movie star or some kind of God. I don't know how you are, how you think about money, but most of us think there's never enough of it, that it's limited, that it's highly demanding and unpredictable. We believe that it's out of our control and that there are forces higher than us pulling the puppet strings of our life. We have it tied up with our job. Often our job is something that we have grown to resent or not like a lot. But that doesn't lead to a good relationship with Big Green. The Course in Miracles has some interesting things to say about money. For example, in the Course we read this: whatever your money is tied to, it places your faith in symbols that are at best trivial and ridiculous. Another place it says pills, money, protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people, and an endless list of forms of nothingness that we endow with magical powers. And then this one. The body puts things on itself that it has bought with little metal discs or paper strips that the world proclaims as valuable and real. Take that with you next time you go to Macy's. How about this one? Do you really think you would starve unless you have stacks of green strips and piles of metal discs? Do you really think that? And then finally, this from the Course. Money is not evil. Actually, it's nothing. Oh, thank you, Course in Miracles. Thank you for sharing. So I want to challenge you today to an outrageous experiment around the subject of money. It's an experiment that is designed to prove to you once and for all that money is nothing but energy, and that it is only your baggage around money that keeps you from having it, enjoying it, and realizing that it is not what you came to this planet for. There's a lot of false information around the subject of money. Some of it, a lot of it, is a really big fat lie. Here's 10 lies that have been spread around the planet about money. Number one, in order to be happy, you have to have it. Is that true? Many people in developing countries laugh at something like that, at the lengths to which we here in the United States go to accumulate money and some ridiculous things that we buy with it. Every single index that I've ever seen for happiness holds no relationship to the gross national product. Big fat lie number two. If you have it, you're happier. Is that true? Think about that. There's a guy named Owen Wilson. Perhaps you've heard of him. He's worth $60 million. In 2007, he slit his wrists. Lucky for us, he was unsuccessful in doing that, but he's proof positive that money can't buy happiness. Actor Jim Carrey. He's famous for saying that he wished everyone was rich and famous so they could see it's not the answer. Big fat lie number three. You have to work your tail off to get it. We've all been there and done that one. So riddle me this. Who works harder? An 8-hour factory worker or Elon Musk? Some of the poorest people out there slave away at minimum wage jobs, putting in more and more hours, trying to get ahead and to make ends meet. Actually, Donna and I have found that, at least in our lives, money often shows up unannounced. Big fat lie number four. Well, David, there's only so much to go around. Did you know that there's a $500 billion advertising machine that has only one job, and that job is to convince you that you are lacking and that there's only so much to go around? There's actually a machine that will tell you that. And once we begin defining our resources as limited, every ounce of our energy red sock there that we use, and we put it under our bed. And someone might say, how did you know that's where I put my money? So, it's a lie that there's only so much to go around. Big fat lie number 5. More is better. Try that one on for size. This lie has been doing a good job for a long, long time of keeping people from enjoying what they have. I can't enjoy what I have because I got to go out and get more so I can be more happy than I was before I went out. So we become constantly focused on the next big thing, worrying that we need more and more and more, and we're worried because we don't want to be left out. Consequently, we don't experience the joy that is right in front of us, the people that are right in front of us, the experiences, the amazing possibilities that are right there in front of us. And still we go on. Big fat lie number 6. The economic system we are living under is set in stone, and there's nothing we can do about it to change it. The rich get rich and the poor get poorer. Amen, we think. These assumptions, these traditions, and these habits not only trap us into resignation, they block a clearer and more accurate vision of the prosperity that is possible for each one of us. Big fat lie number 7. Money is bad, and people who have a lot of it are really, really bad. They quote the Bible on this. It's harder for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven than for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. There is nothing inherently wrong with money. As long as we know that money is faith. In little pieces of metal and green bills and credit cards and investments. Is that where your faith is today? Kate Northrup, who teaches in her book, Money, a Love Story, says this: a more productive way to think about money is to see it as an exchange of value for value. She says money is everyone's BFF, and they don't even know it. Big fat lie number 8. We can blame our jobs for our money issues. A lot of people out on strike right now, right? We often feel trapped in our job because of the money issue. We love the weekends. We love the days off, the vacations, the Airbnbs that we would love to go to, and we're working only so we can have more of this in our lives. Remember that song? We have 16 tons, and what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. You can sing that one next time, Robin, okay? Okay. Big fat lie number 9. The only way to get money is to have a job. Money and work go together like pancakes and syrup. Although money and jobs have certainly been dating for a long, long time, they are far from being married. Or certainly for people who want more abundance in their lives. And finally, big fat lie number 10. Money is a distant, magical demagogue. All these other lies piling up seem to be pushing money further and further away from me rather than into and through my life. You remember the musical Fiddler on the Roof? Here's another one you can sing, Robin. And if I were a rich man, da 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 da. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Yabba dabba doo, dooba doo. Sound your thoughts. You can take the money out of your life, but you can't take the wealth consciousness out of you. You have a wealth consciousness, which you are using or not using. Here's another truth. Without looking at life through the lens of lack and limitation, you will discover that the world around you is wildly abundant, incredibly abundant in many ways, in many things. And the next truth is, in the unlimited universe we live and move and have our being in it, there is no shortage of anything. If any of you have been following the Webb telescope, the new powerful telescope that's out there, they shot it out 1,000,000 miles into space, and then they turned it around and it took a picture. And what it showed, and if you haven't Googled this, go and see the very first picture that it took. It showed all these lights, a gazillion lights, and each one of those lights is a galaxy. And we're sitting here on our puny little planet saying, well, I don't know if we're going to make it or not. There is no shortage of anything in the world. Abundance is forever on display if we will simply look for it. Turn around. Look the other way. And number 6 of the truths about money, everything you really need has already been provided for you, already been anticipated. It's already waiting there for you. Whether you have money right now or not, you are just fine, thank you very much. Nothing is stopping you from being secure, at ease, comfortable, relaxed, approved of, and joyful. Nothing is sacred. You can and do and have every one of the things that you so much look for, even without piles of money in your bank account. All good things are in your inheritance from your rich parent, infinite, unlimited good. You know, when Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the founders of Unity, were starting to print things to send out brochures and books and that sort of thing, they came to a point where they didn't have enough money to pay on the printing press. And finally, the sheriff came and visited them at Unity Village. And he was there to take the press away from them because they couldn't pay their bill. And it was Myrtle who said, well, we are children of a rich father. And the sheriff said, oh, okay, well, we'll leave it with you then. Little did they know what rich father they were talking about at the time. And finally, here's one more truth to lay on you. It is only your illusory belief in limitation that keeps riches away from you. Peace Pilgrim. Any of you know about Peace Pilgrim? Remember her? She visited us at Unity South Hill when I was minister there at one time. And she went all over the United States and various other parts of the world. And we all wondered how'd she get here? where'd she get the resources? And she said, making money is easy. And that's all she said. She traveled for 28 years. She always had sufficiency to meet her needs. Okay, having made that case for the lies and the truths about money, I'm going to challenge you to 2 experiments. You know I'm famous for this here. I challenge you to do things about the Jeeps and all sorts of other things. Well, first of all, there's this quote from Jesus that I got to share with you. Give and it shall be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For the measure with which you give, it will be measured back to you. And so here's the first challenge to you. Become Johnny Moneyseed. You cannot break the cycle of outflow, and you cannot break the cycle of outflow and income unless you open the channels and start sharing and start giving. The test says, if I give away money, I will receive more money. Where have we heard that one before, Steve? Yeah. It's an unalterable principle. What you give comes back to you, increased and multiplied, heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So that's the first experiment for the next, until I see you again. I see you in 2 weeks, so I'm going to come in and take notes. Have you been in a generous spirit in giving? That's the first experiment. The second experiment is that money actually is very easy to come by. In fact, I brought some with me this morning. For the next 3 days, intend to find pennies on the ground, in your pockets, in your sock under the shoe or under your bed, in your car, on the sidewalk, in the couch, and everywhere else. A penny for your thoughts. So, Steve, can you take this and start handing around, and everybody take a penny? Don't say there isn't prosperity in this room. There is. But I want you to keep looking for it and finding it and expecting it to be in places that you never thought possible. And so, this is the experiment that I'm leaving with you today. And I close with these words from Lao Tzu, who said, "Be content with what you have, rejoice in the way things are, and when you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you." And Robin just has a very appropriate song to sing here, too. Go for it.
Well, I'm not singing it.
You're not singing it?
Everybody's singing it.
Oh, everybody's singing this one.
Actually, we were going to have everyone sing it, but I think we don't have the words, unfortunately. We just had a little error in our system. However, it's Pennies from Heaven. You guys probably many of you know this.
Go for it.
Tell you quickly, every time it rains, it rains.
Thank you. I'll go down.
Yes. Don't you know each cloud contains? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. So if you want to sing along, you're welcome. If not, that's okay. We'll do it.
Time for church jazzercise. Everyone on their feet. Yeah, come on, stand up. We can do this.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven.
Pennies from heaven.
Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven?
Pennies from heaven.
find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers.
Sunshine and flowers.
If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. One more time. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven.
Pennies from heaven.
Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven?
Pennies from heaven.
You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers.
Sunshine and flowers.
If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Oh, that's a cute
That
one.
was beautiful again. Brightened up my day, and I think everybody else here today, too. Love that song.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Remember it.
I know when we first started doing this prosperity work at Unity, the first church I served in Chapel Hill, the sanctuary, had wooden floors. And so one Sunday, people didn't know what was going to happen. During the pennies from heaven, we rolled it all over the floor. And people loved it. It was cool. It was so
I
cool.
bet.
That's very
So what's happening at Unity? Let's see some of the announcement slides. Sunday morning team. Are you part of the Sunday morning team? Have you done coffee yet?
No,
No, me neither.
I
But,
haven't.
but there's people that have. The
Yes.
people here that have done coffee or on the team, Sunday morning team. Raise your hand. I just want to thank you for doing what you've been doing. You're awesome. You're blessed. And a sign-up sheet is in the foyer. It's ongoing, so people can do that.
Yes.
And then we have longevity and health. Go on forward. Emma is coming to teach a class here.
Yes, I've had over 40 years of study and trainings and over 23 years working in health food vitamin stores. And it's my heart's desire to have everyone heal. That's why I'm still working. And it makes me happy when people are healing and I'm helping them with their choices that they buy. So come on out and join us, and maybe I can help you too.
Sunday, November 5 and 12, right after the service here. Sunday, November 5 and 12. That sounds good, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's all about connections. We have a new connection team that's been unfolding right now. And Sue Jarvis is well known here for so many gifts she's been given to this place. Let's call it sacred service over the years. She's been wonderful. And she took these photos of hats that she has already knitted, that she has done this on an annual basis and more than annual, actually. And they pass out to a policeman, and they have them in their cars. And they pass out to folks that they come across that have need for something like a hat.
And that's wonderful, what she's doing, and we appreciate it. And wanted to say to her, thank you so much again, for what she's been doing. That's wonderful. And
yes, and you can be a part of this as she will be bringing in information to us about what's coming next. And so Stephen Tolles, Reverend Stephen Tolles, a lot of you know of him. He's a Unity minister, has been in the area for quite a while. And he and I know each other really well over the years. And in fact, when I served the church in the Seattle area, he followed me as the pastor there, and he's an amazing man. He was guided to take a trip and do the Camino of Santiago Trail. A lot of us have heard about, and it was on my bucket list until my toes decided to give me some challenges. But it's wonderful, and he will be here on Monday the 13th at 6:30 to share about it. And his book is doing well on Zoom, The Heaven of Santiago, and it's all about walking a path of life. And he has a lot to share, and it's going to be wonderful. So. Well, this is something new. Do you want to talk about this? Do you know anything about what's new that we can do this Sunday at the end of the service?
Okay. A blessing to our youth. God loves you and accepts you just the way you are. And I love you and accept you just the way you are.
Now, that's what we have traditionally been saying every Sunday. You recognize that. This time, the slide at the top of it says the blessing to our youth. And the children are rehearsing this now, but we will be doing something new. When we come in at the end of their little presentation where they share what they learned today, then this slide will come up. Mm-hmm. And this is a heads up right now. And the next slide will show it's a blessing from our youth, and they will be repeating the same blessing to us. And so this is a very powerful, sacred time in the sense of oneness, in the sense of we bless each other by our very presence. Do you think the children will like that? The youth will
I think so.
Yes. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. So just be prepared. That's coming.
Okay. All righty. So now the next thing we need to do is our love offering.
Yes, and there's many ways you can give the tithe or love offering, and you can do it online or in mail. And we'll, as the music comes forth, we will be going forth with our love offering. So let's enjoy the music and pay attention to our heart as we give. But is that something that you do all the time? Sandra, you have a way of touching the music that is just perfect. Just awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for pulling our music together. So this is a time where we give a affirmation for our love offering. As we consider the gift that we just gave, realizing that more is on the way, more, it's just like the magic penny, the magic of love offering, the beauty of oneness, the beauty of giving and receiving our one. As we affirm together, divine love in, through, and as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we say thank you. Thank you, sweet Spirit. are blessed as we give. And also, we also want to give information about prayer requests are always here, and we accept belief in prayers. You can support yourself, others with continuing this. Our prayer team is active, and they're making a major difference. So our Unity children are on the way. Our Unity youth are massing at the door, and here they come. You are walking as the light, in the light.
You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
So today, we worked with the children on having experiences that allowed them to realize that they're connected to all the different things of the world, right? So we started out, and they became one of their favorite trees. So each person had a tree that they know in their yard that they were able to connect with, feel their branches, feel their roots. And then we did a drumming, and I probably got too carried away and got too loud. But anyway, during the time we were drumming, they did what's known as a journey, and they went and found a spirit helper and an animal spirit helper. And so some's got foxes and some's got bears, and we even had a porcupine. So that was the next thing that they got to do, was then do a dance where they actually became that spirit helper. And some of them actually got communication with their spirit helpers, and their spirit helpers told them their names and whatnot. So that's what we did. When we close and we sing the peace song, and at the end of that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a drumming for peace, and I invite everybody to join in when we're doing that. The idea of drumming for peace is recognizing that when you drum, your drum plays a frequency that your brain lines up to that frequency. When your brain lines up to that frequency, it's tied to the imagination capacities, but also everybody in the room, their brains are all synchronized onto that same frequency. So the magic of that is, if we all imagine that we are drumming for peace worldwide, we can shift the entire world in the direction of peace by just using our imaginations, right? That's the magic, that we all are conscious. And if we align our consciousness, if there were enough of us aligning our consciousness, we could imagine anything possible, right? We could imagine no more weapons. How can they have a war if there's no weapons? Wouldn't that be wonderful? So that's what we're going to do at the end. As we finish the song, we'll drum for peace.
Thank you, Leon. We want to give thanks to you, Leon, for being with our children this morning. We're so blessed by you. Well, we have something new that's going to happen today. That you know the blessing that we say every Sunday. I'm talking to our kids right now. You know the blessing. Normally, people here, sitting out here, say a blessing and saying it sort of to you. But we're going to make a real special addition to it that's very important. That we say this to you in a few moments. We will say this, and then you'll see the next slide. And the next slide, if you see the top of it, it says a blessing from our youth. So when we get to the second slide in a few moments, we say this blessing to you first, and then all of you say it back to us. And what's important when we are saying this blessing, when it is our turn to say the blessing, and this is for the youth too, when you say the blessing, let your eyes look at everybody here. Move and seeing everybody in this space. And so this is a very, very important time. So we're going to begin this now with our traditional blessing of our youth and of ourselves, and a youth blessing to us. Together, God loves you and accepts you just the way you are, and I love you and accept you just the way you are. Next slide. The Christ you are. I behold the Christ you are. Your turn. Read the slide. And I love you and accept you just the way you are. I behold the Christ you are. Thank you. And amen to that. And now let's form a circle where we'll do our peace song, and then we'll hear the drums as part of this. At the end, at the end of the peace song or the prayer for protection, end of the peace song.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So if you want to make noise and rhythm with the drums, you can rattle the change in your pocket or your keys or bang on a hymnal or whatever.
I'm bang on him.
But we're going to drum. Everybody ready? Okay, so let's start in and
Thank
see clear.